Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Roman law. Their laws were important because they set up a lot of what we use today as far as majority rules, minority rights, the rule of law, things like that. We're going to talk about all of that today. But the learning target today is that you can explain the significance of majority rules, minority rights, separation of powers, and checks and balances. And we started talking about a lot of that when we set up the Roman Republic the other day. But today we're going to be getting right into Roman law. So let's go. Let me present here. The scales are usually used to show justice and equality of the law, whatever. So back here, you have a picture of the very first set of written laws in ancient Rome. I'm having trouble again with the sticky face. I don't know why it just sticks. Let me try it again. Nope, doesn't want me to move it. There we go. Okay, so back here you have the very first set of written laws in Rome, and those are called the 12 tables. There are 12 of them, and they are written down. We're going to talk about why they wanted them written down in 1 second. So the Romans strongly believed in civic duty, and that is the idea that citizens have the responsibility to help their country. We have that same kind of civic duty thing that we believe in today too. One of Rome's greatest contributions to the world was its system of laws, and the U.S. system is based on the Roman system. The Rome's first code of laws, as you see in the background, is called the 12 Tables. They were written on bronze tablets, still bronze, still written down, in 451 BC. Before this, Rome's laws were not written down. I want you to think in your head, if you're at home watching this, why would it be a problem to not have laws written down? Think for a second. Think for a second. Think for a second. If you thought that the reason why it's a problem is because people could change them if they're not written down, you are correct. So there we are, written down. The plebeians demand the laws be written in writing for everyone to see. So, like if the rich people were the ones who, made the laws and all that, don't you think the laws could change whenever they wanted to benefit those rich people? You got it. It is. So the plebeians wanted it written down. They wanted to say everybody can go through the law. Anytime you're questioning a law, you can go look at the 12 tables and see what the law says. So the patricians decided, yeah, maybe that's okay. They placed the tablets in the Forum. The Forum was Rome's marketplace. And back here is what you see is the remains of the Forum in Rome. So they placed them right in the Forum, so anybody who wanted to see them could go see them. The 12 tables became the basis for all future Roman laws. They established that idea that all free citizens had the right to be treated equally by the legal system, but it did not apply to non-citizens. Now, in the United States today, we still have this rule of law that you have the right to be treated equally by the legal system. Some question today whether or not that is actually the case, if everyone is actually treated equally, poor, rich, social status, race, religion. People think that sometimes other people get treated differently. Is it a problem? Most likely, yes. Is there a solution? We're not sure. People are out there working on it. Roman law versus modern law. So the Romans created a collection of laws called the Law of Nations. These are laws to solve legal disputes between citizens and non-citizens. These standards of justice are still accepted today. People are innocent until proven guilty. Sound familiar? It should, because that's what we have in the United States. So in the United States, if you're accused of a crime, you are automatically supposed to be presumed innocent. I said supposed to be because a lot of times when people get accused of a crime, people, and I'm not talking about jury members or any of that, but just people in general automatically presume a guilty plea because they got charged. Just remember, in the United States, when you are charged, that does not mean you are guilty. You have to go to court. You are 100% presumed innocent until they say you are guilty. And that is when you become guilty. Moving on. People accused of crimes can defend themselves before a judge. Again, same as the United States. A judge makes the decision based on evidence. And in the United States, you actually have two choices. A lot of times you can leave it up to a judge to decide, or more commonly, you have a jury. And that is a jury of 12 people in the United States that is selected from a big pool of people. And that is one of your actual duties as a citizen of the United States, is if you're called upon to do jury duty, you have to go. And those 12 people that are picked, usually both sides, whoever's being charged of a crime and the other side who's being accused, or the person who is accusing or the state who's accusing, they choose together the 12 people that are going to listen. Those people should go in unbiased and listen to all the information, and then they deliberate and they talk about it. And then they make a decision. Is that person guilty or not guilty? So the rule of law is the idea that all people should be treated in the same in the legal system, and it's called the rule of law. Again, like I said, it's been called into question lately. Is it? And I'm sure that there are situations where people that have more money can afford better legal representation than people who are poor. It's been called into question whether or not race plays a factor. It's been called in question whether or not, like, people that are that have different religious backgrounds or ethnicities have fair treatment. Justice, like back here, is shown with this over her eyes, because justice is supposed to be blind. Is it a problem? Yes, in lots of situations, it is a problem today that people do get treated differently, although they're not supposed to. Moving on. It was a new idea at the time that people should be treated the same in the legal system, because people at the top of society back then had special privileges. It was 100% fact. Back when we studied Mesopotamia, I talked about Hammurabi's laws, and how basically in Hammurabi's laws you had people that kind of got off a lot easier than people who were rich, than people who were poor. It happened in every situation, every civilization. Usually the people at the top had special privileges and did not have to follow the same laws as everyone else, which is a big reason why those plebeians wanted those laws written down. Other aspects of Roman law still impact us today. A democracy, again, it's that form of government that's based on a rule of the people, is based on something called majority rule. It's the idea that the majority, more than half, makes the decisions for all of us. And that still applies today. So for example, let's take it to a class example. Let's say that there's 30 popsicles in a box. Look at those yummy popsicles back there. That banana one looks really good to me. 30 popsicles in a box, but there are only 20 students in the class. How do we decide who gets those last 10 popsicles? So if you're going to do a majority rights type of situation, you would vote. And I'm sure that you guys have been in a situation where you've had to vote before. Option 1, do we have a contest and give popsicles to winners? Or option 2, we could have a random drawing. So whichever option has the most votes is what we will do. That's called the majority rule. Sometimes the majority doesn't keep in mind the minority. The minority is a group that has the fewer number of controlling votes. So basically, like if we took a vote on these popsicles and the random drawing is the one that came into the winner, the people that voted for those are the majority rules. The people that voted for option 1, those are the ones in the minority. So most importantly, you always have to remember to keep these minority rights. What does that mean? Well, back to our popsicles. There are 30 popsicles for our 20 students. Let's say there are 12 girls and 8 boys. The girls, who are the majority, decide to vote that the girls get all the popsicles and the boys, the minority, get none. How would you think the boys would feel about that? Probably not very happy. The minority will not like this decision because it's not fair. In a democracy, it is the responsibility of the government to balance majority rules with minority rights. So, for example, in this scenario here, if we voted for the popsicles and everybody voted that the girls got all the popsicles, the boys didn't get any, that wouldn't be fair, because the boys came out completely empty-handed and the girls all have like double the amount of popsicles. It's not fair. So it'd be the same. Let's take it to another example. If we voted in our community to decide to take one certain subdivision, we have to split up this land. And how are we going to do that? Well, say the rest of Wentzville decides that we're going to just take everybody's house. And sorry if you don't like it and you lose, but we're going to take your house. Well, that wouldn't be fair because that's definitely not, the minority would not be happy about that. You got to let them have their rights. So this can be tricky, and it's, again, more complicated than popsicles, but it's kind of like trying to make it fair. Maybe the teacher will make a decision to make it most fair for everyone involved. So maybe they, again, the random drawing thing would have been a good idea. Everybody gets at least one popsicle, and then we'll do a randomized drawing, luck of the draw, for the last 10. And that way everybody has a chance. All right, so I'm going to have this video linked in YouTube for you guys to watch. And that's about it. So make sure that you understand what majority rights, majority rules and minority rights are, the separation of powers, which we talked about, and the Roman Republic yesterday, keeping those powers, checks and balances, separated. So the branches separated so that everybody has a certain thing they're responsible for, checks and balances to make sure one is not more powerful than the other, and then all of the law stuff we talked about today. That is the basis, the great-great-grandfather of the United States government, and it's important to know where we came from and how we got here. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. Take it easy, make good choices, and I'll see you soon. Bye.